Thank you for joining me on this adventure. Your presence means the world to me. Welcome, curious minds, to our video that explores the ins and outs of John D. Bulkeley. John Bulkeley. John Duncan Bulkeley, 19 August 1911 – 6 April 1996, was a vice admiral in the United States Navy and was one of its most decorated naval officers. Bulkeley received the Medal of Honor for actions in the Pacific Theater during World War II. He was also the PT boat skipper who evacuated General Douglas MacArthur from Corregidor in the Philippines and commanded at the Battle of La Ciotat. Bulkeley's PT boat heroics in defending the Philippines from Japanese invasion in 1941–1942 was the subject of the novel They Were Expendable by William Lindsay White in 1942, which was turned into the big-screen epic They Were Expendable 3 years later by director John Ford, starring John Wayne, with Robert Montgomery playing a somewhat fictionalized Bulkeley role. The United States Navy named and guided missile destroyer after him, commissioned in 2001. In the upcoming section, we'll be dissecting early life and career and exploring its implications in greater detail. Bulkeley was born in New York City and grew up on a farm in Hackettstown, New Jersey, where he graduated from Hackettstown High School. He was a 1933 graduate of the United States Naval Academy. Get ready for an exciting part as we dive into military career. In December 1936, he was assigned to the United States Asiatic Fleet, where he was appointed as engineering officer on board in China and witnessed the Japanese invasions of the Chinese cities of Shantou and Shanghai, and the USS Panay incident during the Second Sino-Japanese War. In the upcoming section, we'll be dissecting World War II and exploring its intricate connections to our topic. At the dawn of World War II, Bulkeley was a lieutenant in command of Motor Torpedo Boat Squadron 3, a Philippines-based detachment of 6 motor torpedo boats. He hit his stride as a daring, resourceful, and courageous leader. On 11 March 1942, he picked up General Douglas MacArthur, his family, and his immediate staff, who had been ordered to flee the Philippines, and took them aboard and other 77-foot motor torpedo boats through over 600 near the open ocean. On arriving at Mindanao, MacArthur said, "You have taken me out of the jaws of death. I shall never forget it." Bulkeley earned many of his array of decorations while in command of that squadron and a subsequent one. He was evacuated to Australia by a B-17 aircraft in the final days of the campaign. In September 1942, while back in the United States helping to raise war bonds as a lieutenant commander, he met former Ambassador to Britain Joseph Kennedy at New York's Plaza Hotel, and shortly after was instrumental in recruiting Lieutenant John Fahrenheit Kennedy into the Navy's Motor Torpedo Boat Training Center MTBTC at Melville, Rhode Island. Kennedy's command would help to launch his first campaign for the United States Congress. In 1944, he took part in the Normandy invasion. Bulkeley led torpedo boats and minesweepers in clearing the lanes to Utah Beach, keeping German E-boats from attacking the landing ships along the Mason Line, and picking up wounded sailors from the sinking minesweeper, destroyer escort, and destroyer. As invasion operations wound down, he received command of his first large ship, the destroyer. In August 1944, Bulkeley was appointed to take charge of a diversion raid against the port of La Ciotat, an action that led to the Battle of La Ciotat. The 2 British gunboats under his command came under accurate fire from a German corvette and armed yacht. Charging in with only 1 gun working, he engaged both enemy vessels at point-blank range, sinking both. Afterwards, Bulkeley rescued the British sailors in the water and then rescued many of the German sailors as well. Later, he said, "What else could I do? You engage, you fight, you win. That is the reputation of our Navy, then and in the future." Without further ado, let's move on to the topic of Cold War. During the Korean War in 1952, Bulkeley commanded Destroyer Division 132. After the war, he was Chief of Staff for Cruiser Division 5. In the early years, Bulkeley commanded Clarksville Base, Tennessee, then a tri-service command under the aegis of the Defense Atomic Support Agency. Having lost none of his wartime daring, Bulkeley was known to test the alertness of the Marines guarding the base by donning a ninja suit, blackening his face and endeavoring to penetrate the classified area after dark without detection. This was a dangerous endeavor, as the Marines carried loaded weapons. Ever popular with his men, who both respected and admired him, Bulkeley could be seen driving around the base in his fire-engine red Triumph sports car with a large silver PT boat as a hood ornament. Promoted to Rear Admiral by President John Fahrenheit Kennedy, who commanded PT 109 during World War II, Bulkeley was dispatched to command the Guantanamo Bay Naval Base in Cuba, where he met Cuba's threat to sever water supplies in response to the Bay of Pigs invasion and other assaults by ordering the installation of desalinization equipment to make the base self-sufficient. In this section, we'll be exploring retirement and return to duty. Bulkeley retired from active duty in 1975. However, he was recalled to active duty in a retired retained status in order to serve as the commander of the Navy's Board of Inspection and Survey INSURV, which conducts inspections and surveys of U.S. naval vessels before their commissioning and deployment. In 1986, Bulkeley conducted an inspection of the battleship, finding numerous deficiencies and recommending it be taken out of service immediately. His advice was not heeded, and 3 years later, it suffered a turret explosion, killing 47 crewmen. Later promoted to Vice Admiral, Bulkeley retired from the Navy in 1988 after 55 years of service. In the upcoming section, we'll be dissecting personal life and exploring its implications in greater detail. On 6 April 1996, Bulkeley died at his home in Silver Spring, Maryland, at age 84. He was buried at Arlington National Cemetery, in Arlington, Virginia. Without wasting any more time, let's jump into the fascinating world of awards and decorations. Bulkeley's awards and decorations include. Let's now shift our focus to Medal of Honor citation and explore the ways in which it shapes our perspective. Bulkeley's Medal of Honor citation reads, "For extraordinary heroism, distinguished service, and conspicuous gallantry above and beyond the call of duty as commander of Motor Torpedo Boat Squadron 3 in Philippine waters during the period 1941 to 1942. The remarkable achievement of LCDR Bulkeley's command in damaging or destroying a notable number of Japanese enemy planes, surface combatant and merchant ships, and in dispersing landing parties and land-based enemy forces during the 4 months and 8 days of operation without benefit of repairs, overhaul, or maintenance facilities for his squadron, is believed to be without precedent in this type of warfare. His dynamic forcefulness and daring in offensive action, his brilliantly planned and skillfully executed attacks, supplemented by a unique resourcefulness and ingenuity, characterize him as an outstanding leader of men and a gallant and intrepid seaman. These qualities, coupled with a complete disregard for his own personal safety, reflect great credit upon him and the naval service. Get ready to immerse yourself in the world of legacy as we examine its impact and relevance. The U.S. Navy destroyer, commissioned in 2001, is named after him. Route 57 in Mansfield Township, Warren County, New Jersey, is named the Admiral John D. Bulkeley Memorial Highway in his honor. The headquarters building of Naval Station Guantanamo Bay is named Bulkeley Hall. A quartering area for sailors at the naval station is named Camp Bulkeley. Prepare yourself for an in-depth analysis of in the media in this section. Bulkeley's version of PT boat heroics in defending the Philippines from Japanese invasion was the subject of the laudatory fictionalized novel They Were Expendable by William Lindsay White in 1942. 3 years later, John Ford directed a film version of the book, They Were Expendable, starring John Wayne and Robert Montgomery, who portrayed Motor Torpedo Boat Squadron Commander L.T. Bulkeley, based on Bulkeley's early experiences commanding Motor Torpedo Boat Squadron 3 in the Philippines. Montgomery, a veteran PT boat commander, assisted Ford in the direction. Donna Reed and Ward Bond were also featured. Bulkeley was depicted in the 1977 movie MacArthur by William Wellman Jr. during the evacuation of General MacArthur and his family from Corregidor. Share this video with your friends and spread the knowledge.